Hello everyone, welcome to Model Walk Explained. Tonight's story is called If We Meet Again. Our model portrays a Hong Kong girl named Xenia. Have you ever believed that someone you loved, a girl who once had only 6 months left to live, might already be waiting for you somewhere in heaven? And if 5 years later, she suddenly appeared in front of you, smiling gently and saying, "Matthew, I'm back," how would you respond? Matthew buried Xenia deep inside his heart and spent years traveling the world with his camera. Every photograph he took was a way of preserving their memories, as if he could turn their short, time-limited love into something eternal. What he never expected was that destiny would bring them face to face again, under the golden sunset of Victoria Harbour. This time, there was no countdown to death, only the courage to begin again. 5 years later, Hong Kong is still alive with the same shimmering harbour lights. Matthew is now 25 and has become an internationally recognised photographer. His exhibition, Love with a Deadline, opens at the Harbour Art Centre, and the gallery is filled with the quiet scent of sea air and old photographs. The walls are covered with memories of Xenia, the rooftop sunset where they first met, her laughter beside Victoria Harbour, and the unfinished painting she once left behind in the hospital. Matthew believed those moments would remain frozen in time. 5 years earlier, Xenia had closed her eyes in his arms, and he thought he would follow her, not long after. Instead, a new targeted therapy unexpectedly saved his life. He survived, but he never heard from Xenia again. The hospital said she had already been discharged, and her phone was always switched off. Matthew believed she had passed away, so he poured all his longing into photography and travelled across the world, determined to capture their love through the lens. On the night of the exhibition opening, Matthew stands in the centre of the gallery, while reporters surround him and cameras flash endlessly, yet his mind feels distant and empty. Then suddenly, among the crowd, he sees a familiar figure that makes his entire body freeze. A girl with long hair stands quietly in front of a large photograph. She is holding a sketchbook and wearing a simple white shirt. The photo she is looking at is the one they took together 5 years ago, on the hospital rooftop, with a pink-purple sunset glowing behind them. She gently raises her hand and touches the image of herself in the photograph, and tears begin to slide down her face. Xenia. Matthew's voice trembles so softly that he almost cannot hear it himself. The girl turns around. Her eyes are still bright, just like the day they first met on the rooftop. She smiles with a mixture of warmth and the quiet weight of the past 5 years. "Matthew," she says softly, "I'm back." The entire gallery falls silent. Matthew's camera slips from his hand as he rushes forward and pulls her into his arms. 5 years of longing, guilt, and disbelief explode in that single moment. "I thought you were gone," he says through tears. "Every day I looked at your photos and said I was sorry." Xenia laughs while wiping away her tears. "Idiot," she replies gently. "I thought you were gone too. When my condition worsened back then, I was transferred to another specialist hospital for experimental treatment. I lost my phone and couldn't contact you. When I finally recovered and came back to find you, the hospital told me you had died. I thought you followed me to heaven." They hold each other while the guests and reporters quietly step back, leaving space for the reunion that fate has written for them. Matthew takes her to the rooftop of the art centre, where the lights of Victoria Harbour stretch endlessly beneath the night sky. Just like 5 years ago, they sit side by side while the sea breeze moves through her hair. "Are you completely healthy now?" Matthew asks carefully. Xenia nods and opens her sketchbook. Inside are drawings she made over the past 5 years, sketches of Matthew travelling the world with his camera, silhouettes of sunsets over the harbour, and memories she never stopped carrying in her heart. She smiles and tells him she survived and became an illustrator, turning their love into a story she hopes to publish someday. Matthew raises his camera and captures her smile once again. He tells her that after this exhibition, he wants to create a new photo album. This time, there will be no deadline. That night they sit beside Victoria Harbour until sunrise, sharing stories about the years they spent apart. Xenia says drawing helped her heal, and every line she sketched carried memories of him. Matthew says every journey he took was like a pilgrimage, fulfilling the promise he once made to show their colors to the world. "Do you remember what you once told me?" Xenia whispers, while leaning on his shoulder. "You said heaven must have the best light for photography." Matthew kisses her forehead gently. "I don't need heaven anymore," he says. "You are the best light in my life." 3 months after the exhibition, they hold a simple wedding on the rooftop of the same hospital where they first met. There are no luxurious decorations, only close friends, sea wind from the harbour, and fireworks looming far away over Victoria Harbour. Xenia holds a bouquet and smiles, just like the girl Matthew first met years ago. "This time," she says softly, "our lifetime is forever." Matthew lifts his camera and captures the moment, not just as a photograph, but as something that will last forever. Later, they publish a book together, titled If We Meet Again, combining Matthew's photography with Xenia's illustrations. The final page shows a new photo of them on the rooftop, standing under the same pink-purple sunset that once witnessed their first meeting. Their reunion teaches them something simple yet powerful. True love is not about eternity promised in advance, but about destiny giving you another chance to hold on. And this time, they will never let go. If you enjoyed tonight's video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. See you in the next episode.